Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today on the Slanted Lens, we've got a treat for you. We're going to talk about stop motion photography, and we have the master of stop motion photography here with us. This is Trisha Zemp. She's going to talk to us about the things that she does to make fabulous stop motion Instagram videos. She does this for everyone from Bath & Body Works to Etsy. I mean, she does it for everybody. So what are you going to teach us today?
Today I'm going to teach you 4 tips to make your stop motion videos look really good.
Well, if there's anyone that can do it, it's Trisha. So let's get started and see what we can do. If you're going to succeed in your business, you need to get help. Trisha was an example of that. She came to me and said, I don't know what to do. She took my business coaching class. I taught her the things she needed to do. She went from making just a few dollars for her Instagram videos to making a lot of money. You can do the same. Join up for our business coaching class. Go to theslanteddlens.com. We will give you the help you need to be successful in this industry.
So our first tip in stop motion is that you want to avoid any sort of camera movement. So you put your camera on a tripod and you don't want to touch it. But what I like to do is I like to use an AC camera adapter. It's a battery that you put into your camera and you can also plug it into the wall. So your camera will stay alive for as long as you're shooting, which is great because you might find yourself shooting for 8+ hours for a single stop motion. Another thing you want to be really careful of is you don't want to manually trigger your camera. You want to trigger it off camera. And so you can use a remote or you can tether to your computer. And I think that's the best way. And you can do it from Lightroom, which is a really great way to tether your camera, shoot from your computer, and see the images as you create them. So there's number 1, no camera movement.
Don't touch the camera.
Do not touch the camera.
Ever. Do you understand us?
Don't touch the camera. Okay, the second thing we wanted to talk about is frame rate. Right?
I'm really curious about frame rate because, and I would guess that the animation that we see in the theaters is done at 24 frames because it's very cinematic.
Yes.
But a lot of the stuff that's very interesting on Instagram looks to me like it's a lot less frames than that.
Yes. So when I shoot for Instagram, I like to shoot 10 frames per second.
Wow.
Yeah, it's short, but it gives a really fun, bouncy, wiggly movement that people love to see on Instagram. Another great frame rate for Instagram is 15 frames per second. It kind of merges the bouncy, fun stop motion feel with a cinematic feel, and you get this really nice like marriage of the two. But I prefer doing 10 frames a second because you're only shooting 150 frames because Instagram's video platform can only take 15 seconds. And when you sit down to shoot, 150 frames doesn't seem like that much. The third thing we're going to talk about is lighting. For stop motion, you can light however your preference is in photography. You can also use any method of lighting. You can use continuous lighting, strobe lighting, and natural light or window light. But you have to be careful, especially with window light. Your light changes, the quality of your light changes often, and it might require a lot of post-production to get everything to match.
We don't think the sun's moving very fast, but when you're doing something like this, I'll bet you can see it move.
Yeah, and you could do that on purpose in a stop motion, which would be really beautiful.
Yep.
But again, you can't really control your exposure through that whole time. So it does get difficult, but it is doable if you want to try. But my preference in doing stop motion is to have continuous lighting. And today we're shooting with Roscoe's Vector LED light pads. And I've been using them for a while and I love them. I think that they're fabulous lights, especially for stop motion, because you can see what your light looks like the whole time that you're shooting. Just be really careful that you don't create a shadow from you being in the way of the light. So you need a light in such a way that you animating and then stepping back and taking a picture doesn't affect your light source. So the fourth thing we're going to talk about is camera settings. Right now, our camera is shooting a 1/10 of a second. We are at 250 ISO, and then our aperture is at 6.3. And when our aperture is between 5
to 8,
then you have optimal corner performance. It means that you're not going to get a vignette, or you'll at least get the least amount of vignette, chromatic aberrations, or any sort of lens aberrations that come with a different.
So that's where your lens is going to perform optimally. That's going to give you the best focus. It's a one-dimensional experience, what we're doing today. So it's just what's going to give you the solid depth of field across the entire object. Looks good. So here we are. We're on set, and Trisha's going to show us how to animate the Slanted Lens logo using jelly beans.
Here we go. So for this video, we want to create the Slanted Lens logo out of these black jelly beans and the paper. we are doing it in reverse so that we don't have to worry about all the nitpicky placement to create it. So we're gonna deconstruct it. And the first thing we want to happen, which is the last thing we want to see, is this paper picture of JP, we want it to uncrumple. So we're going to crumple it. And then we have the over here, and it's actually made out of jelly beans that we bit in half to create the skinny type. We want them to become whole jelly beans, and then we want all the jelly beans to roll off. We need to have our final frame, so we're gonna start by taking our first picture. And so the first thing we want to happen is this paper is going to uncrumple. So we're gonna start by crumpling it up, and then we're going to put it back where it was. And then we take another picture. And then we can kind of toggle back and forth to see how that looks. Oh yeah, crushed it, that looks great. So then we're gonna crumple it a little bit more. Okay, and then we want this paper to start to disappear, like it's coming out of the white. So when we're gonna go here. And then we're actually going to tear the photo in half to make it smaller. Then we're gonna tear it in half again. Sometimes it's fun to get it really tiny because it looks so cool growing out of the white. So this video, I was filming thinking I liked it at 10 frames per second, but it's kind of slow. I prefer actually watching it at 15 frames per second. I think the magic of stop motion is when you have 1 second of animation and you can see what you just created. It's just magic to see all that you made. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to make all these jelly bean pieces become a single jelly bean. So we're gonna kind of move them together. For this video, it took hours of prep just to get the type ready.
Yeah.
The jelly bean type. So it definitely takes a lot more time than even just showing this here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to disperse all the beans, and we can make it 10 seconds. So we need 80 more frames. You kind of need to visualize. If we need to move these beans out to the corners in 80 frames, we probably want to move them about that much. And so we're just going to kind of move everything. And with a video like this, no one is keeping their eye on a specific bean. And so you can kind of move all of them in a general pattern. But if you're working with one or two things, you have to be really careful and very specific about where you put them. But in a video like this, it's okay if you kind of just jostle them all around. Okay, and then we're done. And I'm just gonna take a blank white image. So that is the logo video.
That is fabulous.
We were gonna do 10, but we ended up doing 5.
Well, and then you can let the logo sit there for a second.
Yeah, the logo does need to sit for at least 1 second, maybe 2. So really it's like a 7-second video.
So there you have it, 4 tips on how to do stop motion photography. Actually, there's probably 6 or 7 tips in there, but great information to go out. So get out there and try it. Do some stop motion photography.
And if you post it to Instagram, I would love to see. I think JP
I
would love to see
it too. Things you're doing.
Yeah, so tag the Slanted Lens, tag Trisha Zemp, and then we'll give you some feedback on what you shoot, because we'd love to see.
So tag us, and don't forget to follow the Slanted Lens. Follow us, like us on Facebook, tell your grandmother about us, all those kinds of things. But just remember, keep those cameras rolling, keep on clicking. Trisha is a fabulous stop motion artist, and she's taken everything that she knows, kind of a complete look at how she does stop motion from beginning to end, put it into a download that the Slanted Lens is selling right now at theslanteddlens.com. Get over there and pick up a copy of this. It's an hour-plus material about how to do stop motion. It'll teach you the things that we didn't get into in the lesson today that'll help you do stop motion. All of Trisha's examples and secrets are yours if you get to theslanteddlens.com and buy a copy today.